Welcome, friends. This is Janine Pettit, founder of Girl Camper, editor-in-chief of Girl Camper Magazine, co-host of the Girl Camper Podcast, and this is the Girl Camper Podcast. Today, we are talking about the extensive damage in North Carolina from Hurricane Helene and how we can help. Stay tuned because I'm bringing Shari Sullivan, our Alabama guide, on, and she is spearheading a Girl Camper trip to go there and be boots on the ground. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. You know, when disaster strikes, that's when you find out what you're made of. And for those poor people on the ground there in North Carolina, nobody saw that thing coming. You know, we think of hurricanes as the Gulf Shores and Florida and the shores. Like we had it bad in New Jersey with Hurricane Sandy, but we don't think of Western mountain towns as a place that is going to suffer. But they suffered catastrophic damage on a Hurricane Cat 5 level in Western North Carolina and Eastern Tennessee. And from the very beginning, we said, Girl Camper is going to participate in that in whatever way we can. We're going to go there. We're going to be boots on the ground, and we're going to do whatever we can to help. But we also knew that we could not do that until emergency services could get in there, could restore power. There were roads that were gone. So we knew that it wouldn't be until the summer of 2025 that we could offer our help. You can't go in and be in the way. We needed to let people get their roads open and power restored before we could go in and do part of the cleanup. I'm going to come back in a minute. We're going to hear from one of our sponsors first, and we're going to be talking to Shari Sullivan, our wonderful, beautiful Alabama guide who does so much. And Shari has put together a trip with us down to Spruce Pine, North Carolina, a very small but very hard-hit town northeast of Asheville. And they are in desperate need of our help. And she has been in touch with the Chamber of Commerce there. So we're going to be back in a minute, and I'm going to introduce you to Shari.
Hey, RVers! Any way you explore, explore protected. With Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. They make it easy to quote, and the process takes as little as 4 minutes. Get a quote now. Insure your passion.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. And thank you so much to all of our sponsors. We're so grateful to them, especially when our sponsors are making something like this possible. We really just want to get the word out there to as many people as possible. And we mentioned this on a previous podcast, and we got a lot of mail about it. So hopefully you're hearing it and you're going to be able. We couldn't put it together any faster than we did because there's a lot of agencies involved. So kind of short notice, but 8 weeks notice. We're going to be out there August 8 through 11. But Shari is here to tell us all about it. And Shari, I cannot thank you enough for all the work that you have done pulling this thing together. It's not like a regular Girl Camper trip, like who's cooking dinner, what time are cocktails. This is pulling people together for some hard work. And I thank you so much for doing it and taking it on.
Well, you're really welcome, Janine. I'm really grateful to be able to be a part of it. You probably don't know this, but my family is from North Carolina.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah.
I grew up not too far from Asheville, North Carolina for a few years, but my dad's family is from there, and they were hard hit by the storm too. In fact, I have a cousin who owned a campground and a little small golf course, and it was completely destroyed by the storm. So
was he able to rebuild?
No, he had to. It was completely underwater, and so
just gone.
He ended up moving on, but they were fine. No one was hurt, so that was good. But anyway, North Carolina it really is near
part of your heart.
So I'm very honored to be a part of this, and I'm excited that ladies from all over the country, if they're able to, can come and help lend a hand. And that's what our event is called, Girl Campers Lend a Hand. um, they can come there and be a part of something bigger than they are. So,
Yeah.
and Spacious Skies Bear Den has graciously offered to let us have our headquarters there and camp there with
Yeah.
them. They were hit pretty hard as well, and we're very fortunate to have their electrical restored, their water restored, campsites reopened. So we can come there and base out of there and head into
So
the
we're
town.
going to be comfortable. We're not exactly going to be roughing it. I know Bear Den, which is a beautiful campground in Spruce Pine, in that area there, they had a lot of downed trees, but I don't think they sustained a lot of building damage. I think like in the town there is where the town of Spruce Pine has a river running right by it. Now, this is interesting for our listeners who want to do this. You can go onto YouTube. There's quite a few videos of the damage that took place in Spruce Pine. And it's these small towns somehow that get left behind. And that's why we really want to be able to go there. And Spacious Skies is up and running. So we're going to have hookups and water and be comfortable in our campers or whatever we're camping in. But these little towns, I saw on YouTube that the town of Spruce Pine with the river running right by and the railroad, classic like little town, 60 feet high, the river went over flooding. There wasn't a single store on Main Street in Spruce Pine that wasn't flooded.
Correct. And I spoke with Jill at the Mitchell County Chamber of Commerce there, and she told me that most of the businesses there in town had 6 feet or more of water. And then when the water went down, they had 3 feet of mud inside that they had to
The
shovel.
river is now inside the store.
Correct. It is. All the streets were completely underwater. And that little North Toe River is the name of the river. And it's normally just a peaceful little river that you can walk along. But sadly, the massive amount of rain in such a short time just devastated the entire town.
You know, I look at the pictures and I was one of the boots on the ground when Hurricane Sandy hit New Jersey. And a friend of mine's husband was the chief of police in Monmouth. And, we were able to come in with our little campers and they let us in every day when people weren't allowed in. And that was a Halloween storm, like late in the fall, which is worse because it's so cold. And we brought our RVs down 2 days, 3 days. We got there before Red Cross because they were spread so thin. And we were able to supply people with baked potatoes. We had all these people baking potatoes at home. And then we would bring them down with all the toppings. And everything's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with, you're working so hard. To see these people dragging soaking wet carpet out of their house, their life possessions on the curb, a big dump thing coming and throwing your grandma's dining room set in a dumpster. It's so emotionally devastating, it's so physically draining. And I remember once our basement flooded 6 inches and we had to pull all the carpet out. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is terrible. These people lost, their businesses and that's their livelihood. Now you don't have any income and their roads are washed out and no access to it. So we knew we wanted to get down there, but we also knew that there was going to be no quick, easy fix to get down there. So tell us what the situation is in Spruce Pine right now with electricity, with roads, and what their needs are.
The town of Spruce Pine is open for business, and most of the businesses have been cleaned down and open. The churches, schools, and all that is back up. However, local parks and all the outdoor things are still in need of help. They're still distributing supplies, food, clothing, and things like that to people in the local area. According to Jill at the Chamber of Commerce, they still have great need for a lot of things. We won't know the exact jobs that we'll be doing until closer to the event, of course, because things are still progressing right now. And we want that, we want them to continue working. But she said they will need help organizing supplies, distributing those supplies. A local park is being rebuilt, and that probably won't be until the summer. There's also another campground that's involved that was completely destroyed. It was right on the river and it was completely washed out. So, Brandy at Bear Den, Spacious Guys Bear Den, is putting us in contact with them because they are in desperate need of volunteers. So
Yeah, because no campground owner. Think about it. When you pull in a campground, especially a small one in a small town, there's probably the mom and pop owner and maybe a work camper or, one part-time employee. It is impossible to put that back together.
Yes, and that's exactly the situation. This is called Mountain River Campground, and it's located just a few miles from Bear Den.
Okay.
Their damage devastating.
We're not going to know what we're doing till we get down there. And so let me, you tell us, Shari, paint the picture for us. So it's a girl camper event, but not our regular, but we'll have fun because we always do. So you're going to have to sign up for it on the Girl Camper website. Then we're all going to go down August 8th through 11 to Bear Den Campground, which is part of our friends at Spacious Guys. Spacious Guys was able to clean up their own pretty quickly, and they've been out there helping the community as they always do. So they're giving us a 10% discount. Really what people need there is for us to come to town and spend a little money. So we're going to be at that campground. And when we get there, we'll get there Friday night and then tell us what happens on Saturday morning. We're going to get up ready to work.
Okay, so Friday night we'll have a little meet and greet so everybody can get together and meet each other. And we'll have a list of work assignments at that point. So people of all levels of ability can help. We'll have indoor things for people that would rather be inside doing paperwork or organizing. We'll have outdoor things for people that want to clear debris or shovel or dig or rake or whatever. And so we'll have a list that we can hand out job assignments. So Saturday morning when we get up, we're ready to go.
Okay.
Carpool to whatever destination you're working at. We can maybe assign teams to go to each individual little job site. So we'll be able to do that. We'll work all day Saturday, come back Sunday for a little hot dog roast at the campground and just share our experiences, whatnot. And then Sunday, we'll get up and we'll do it again. Then Sunday evening or late afternoon, whenever we finish, we'd like to go into town and patronize one of the local businesses.
Oh, I think that's a fantastic idea.
Have dinner there and just walk around, and because we probably won't have time to really enjoy the area until then. And if we finish early, there is so much to do in that area. The event will officially end on Monday, but if you're coming from a distance, you are welcome to come early and stay late and enjoy the area. It's located on the Blue Ridge Parkway in the beautiful Appalachian Mountains. And so much to do as far as hiking and fishing. And, there's an emerald mine there that you might want to tour. There's so much in the area. So don't feel like you just have to come for
just come and work. Yeah.
Yeah. Stay and enjoy or stay and help. You may find an organization that you really click with that you want to stay and help longer.
And the Chamber of Commerce that we're working with would be happy to put us in touch with the volunteer groups going on. I'm so glad you brought that up, Shari, because I think it's about a 10-hour drive for me from New Jersey. So if I'm going there, I'm going to do more than 2 days work. I'm going to stay on after our Girl Camper event ends, and I would encourage everybody to do that. There are several volunteer organizations in Mitchell County, and we can put all this on the website ahead of time. Just take a look, and also just head over to YouTube and type in Spruce Pine and get to know where we are and what's around it and what's going on. And you may find opportunities yourself for other kinds of volunteerism. But for those of us, and I don't know about you, I don't want to pack supplies or organize. I want to get out. I want to move. And, normally at home, I hate yard work. the heat of 1,000 suns. This Irish rose does not do well in the sun and heat. But, I'm thinking to myself, maybe I'll want to work on that community park. But what should we bring when we come?
So think working outside in your yard or your garden. You're going to want a nice big sun hat. You're going to want sunscreen, good sturdy garden gloves, leather if you have them, just so that you're not going to have blistered hands. I'll have a list before the event that I will post and update to the event page. I'll also create a private Facebook group for ladies that are registered for that. And I'll put the exact supplies, so you're not bringing things you don't need. I'm assuming rakes, shovels, hose,
Sturdy shoes.
Yes, good.
It's really generally not a good idea to work in sneakers at an event like this. You don't know if you're piling on a wood pile, if there's a nail or something you want to have. And you just said something for the ladies. This is an event in which bring your husband, bring your son. This is all hands on ground. And I was just looking at one of the websites for community websites for Spruce Pine, the people who live in that town. And somebody wrote, what can we do to help? And they said, come here. We need boots on the ground.
Yes. Yes. So on the event page on the Girl Camper website, you'll see that it says to bring family member, bring a teenager. If you have a teenager that's looking for service project hours for their high school, I'm bringing my 14-year-old twin grandkids with me. And they're excited to get out. They're hard workers and they're excited to get out there. So,
and that's so great for kids to be part of a community, part of helping. It makes them feel so good about themselves, and it's also just really great for kids to see what other people are going through and be incredibly grateful for all the things that we have. Next time the shoe could be on the other foot and we could be on the end of needing the help. And I always say to, somebody said to me once, oh, it was so good of you to come and volunteer wherever I was. And I said, it's easy to be the volunteer. It's hard to be the recipient. Like when you are the one who just has to show up and go home to your cozy home after a day of putting in a little toil, that's nothing compared to what the people are suffering on the ground there. And I've been on both ends of it, and I'd rather be the volunteer anytime.
It's true. It's true. So we'll, as the event gets closer, we'll have a better idea of exactly what we'll be doing. And so you'll know what to bring. But even if it's helping local people with what happened with them too, that will go through the churches, and we'll help whoever needs our help. We're just excited to go there and do something.
Right. And Shari told me something funny earlier. She said she had a volunteer who wanted to come, and she's not physically able to kind of do physical help. And her volunteerism for this was to stay behind and make a pot of chili for everyone who's coming home on Saturday. And I thought, hey, there's no wrong way to help, So, Shari, so when people... So we're talking to two groups of people here because I'm going to ask my friends in the RV community to share this podcast. I am hoping our friends with different podcasts and different groups will share this. And we want to open it up to not just girl campers, to anyone, because people want to come and help. And the thing about wanting to help is finding an organization that has put something together. And that's what we're trying to do. So, okay, here's a way I can help. Girl campers put it all together. This is where we meet. This is where we all go. So thank you for that, because I know you've spent a lot of time on the phone pulling this all together. So I'm hoping that other people will share this. So when people, no matter what group, you still have to come through Girl Camper because of insurances. The whole world is insured. So we can't host anyone at a Girl Camper event who hasn't come through our website because our insurance company won't let us. So you'll have to come over to Girl Camper and you sign up, and it's a really easy process. And then do people make their own reservations at Bear Den?
Yes. So once you decide that you're able to come and help us, register on the website. Instructions are on there. Bear Den is giving us a 10% discount off of campsites. So there's a code SSBD10. It's listed in the event page.
Okay.
So when you register, you'll enter that code. You're welcome to call the campground as well and let them know that you're with the Girl Camper event.
Mhm.
That's fine too.
Yeah.
But it's easy to pick your site online. As of today, there are 35 campsites available, and I think
Great.
there are still maybe 6 cabins left available. But
Great.
you can bring
So you said hello to people, not throw it all.
right,
Have
right.
like 3 or 4 girlfriends share a cabin.
Exactly. We have a couple of gals doing that coming up from Georgia and Alabama that are coming up that are sharing
Mhm.
cabins. I have a gal from Michigan coming and she's got a cabin. It is a dog friendly campground. Some of the
Okay.
cabins are dog friendly, some are not, but you'll need to follow the campground's rules.
Right, and keep in mind, you're not gonna bring your dog to the work site.
Correct. Right.
I'm actually gonna have my camper because I'm on my way to kayak the caves in Kentucky. So I'm gonna stay I might actually come a couple days early, and I have like a 2-day buffer zone where before I have to be up at a Kentucky event, Girl Camper event is only like 4 hours away from this. So I'm gonna go kayak those caverns in Kentucky, which has been on my bucket list a long time. So anyway, come early, stay late, but just do what you can to help. And all questions can be directed to Shari. And Shari, where do people get in touch with you?
You can reach me at my email, which is sharis@girlcamper.com, and it's SHARIS
Mhm.
at girlcamper.com.
Yes.
And of course, you can tag me in a Facebook post as well.
Right.
I'll be happy to respond that way.
You're easy to get in touch with, and you're very responsive.
I try to be. So
So if we ask you if you're hearing this and you can't go yourself, but you know someone who's retired and free to roam around the country. I know a lot of people are working and they've got their vacation time used up. But if you know people like that, please share this so we can get as many people as we can, so we can get as much done as we can in the short amount of time we have down there in beautiful North Carolina. So,
yes,
Shari,
because we haven't had a lot of camping events in North Carolina and South Carolina. Come on, North Carolina girls.
yeah, come on. So maybe we'll meet some out there, right? So,
So
well, Shari, thank you so much for putting this together. I just want to remind everybody, that we're Girl Camper, and this is what we do. We put women together to get outdoors, playing, and in this case, working. And we're so grateful for all of you. So like and share this, follow us on Instagram, follow us, join our Facebook group. Join the Facebook group of the state that you live in, because we've got guides and mentors all over the country. So in addition to Girl Camper Facebook, the main group, which is 450,000 people, your state might have a group. And if you're in Alabama, you get to, be in Shari's group. So anyway, join us there, girlcamper.com. Our podcast, our magazine is going digital. We have so many fun things. Our first digital magazine is coming out, and instead of just reading about the recipes, you're going to get to see us cooking them. Street corn this time around. So good to see you all at Girl Camper, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you around the campfire.